Hey YouTube, Logan with Hideaway Homestead here, coming to you today with a video update on the rabbit tractor here and how things have been going with that. I've been moving these bunnies twice a day. They've had access to feed. I've talked about that in another video, why I'm doing feed and grass, and one of the main reasons being that this is too many rabbits for the area that they're grazing. I'd have to move the pen a lot more often. So I'm moving it twice a day just for sanitation purposes and to let them have a little extra grass, and then I've got the feed there to help supplement that. But you can see that right here was the place that they were at this morning. Here they were yesterday evening, yesterday morning, day before that, evening, morning, and we keep going back past this extension cord here. You can see you got some rabbit manure there, but here's the first place that they were at, which was 3 or 4 days ago, and it's starting to recover a little bit, but we're not going to see the really spectacular growth that it's going to have until a few weeks from now. We want to make sure that we're resting the areas and that we're not going back to the same areas over and over again. But I wanted to talk a little bit about why it is that I'm trying to morph over to feeding more grass and hay and tree fodder and tree hay. And I've explained it in many times in different videos and all different, parts and stuff. But I thought I'd kind of focus this video just on talking about that. Got a little bunny coming up here to say hey. And the reason why is because I think for a homestead level, this is one of the best things that you can do as far as feeding your rabbits. Now, pellets are cheap. I've said that many times. Pellets are cheap, and really and truly, if you just fed pellets and raised rabbits and ate them for meat, you're going to be making money, or you're going to be saving money. I went to a homestead meetup with a guy who was raising rabbits at a commercial level, and I think he had something like 100 breeding does, or somewhere around that number. It was a lot of breeding does, and this guy was super into it. Had amazing genetics. He had his feed was formulated by himself. He would go to the feed store and he'd have them custom make his pellets with a certain mixture, and he was guaranteed 5 pounds or more at 8 weeks, no matter what, pretty much on that feed. I think it's awesome if you can do something like that. There is some stuff that gets a little too conventional farmy for me, just the way they do some of that stuff and the way that they overbreed does and stuff. I mean, that's just not me. So not gonna put anybody down for doing that, but it's just not what I want to do. But when you think about it, even though pellets are cheap and you can just throw them in cages, and it makes things a lot easier, but if you set up these systems where you're not doing a whole lot of work, that's what I keep talking about with the fodder systems, is planting the trees close to the rabbits, taking time to plan things out to where it's not going to be a lot of work. Because if you think about it, pellets are cheap, but grass and leaves are free besides your labor. So the more you can cut down on your labor, the better off you're going to be. Just like with the cutting the trees. If you've got enough trees and you've got enough big limbs that have a lot of leaves on them, it doesn't take any longer to go and clip a limb and throw it in the cage than it does to go over to a feed bin, take out a scoop, and put it into a feeder. So I think that if you were going to come with an argument of, hey, well, it's just so much easier and it's not a lot of work. Granted, you are going to invest some time in planting the trees, but it's something that's going to pay for itself on down the road. And really and truly, the way things are going in the world, you can't afford to just spend frivolously. Now, I don't think that if you're worried about whether or not you can afford rabbit pellets, that might be a little bit of an extreme, but it's something to think about. Who knows? We may get to an extreme like that. You never know. Or just the fact that there may not be a way to get some of that stuff, because our supply chains are extremely fragile. And so the more you can get off of the feed store, the better off you're going to be. Another reason that I like the idea of feeding the grass and the leaves and stuff is because it's a more natural diet. I do believe that if you get your pastures and your trees up to where they've got a really high protein content, where they've got plenty of minerals and nutrients for the rabbits, that you are going to get a better product. I know that I've heard cattle farmers talk about finishing beef on grass rather than corn. If you know how to finish with the right grasses and at the right time of year, it's actually just as good, if not better, on the marbling of beef. Joel Salatin talks about that a lot. And he may not have said better, but I think he said just as good of marbling on the beef when you finish them on the right types of grasses. So this is going to be a whole lot of rediscovery. We've got so dependent on things just being handed to us. Everything's bought in a bag. Everything's, shipped to us from Amazon. I love all those things. I've, bought some of these water bottles on Amazon. They were a really good deal. I think these were on sale for half price, these little half gallons. They used to be like $16 and they were $8 a piece. Totally worth the money for some little rabbit tractor like this. I'll leave a link down in the description for that water bottle. Hopefully it's still on sale. If it's not, especially if you're watching this in the future, sorry. Wish you could have caught it earlier. But anyway, I think that explains one of the reasons why, or a couple of the reasons why, I'm choosing to try to go to more of a grass-centric and tree-centric diet for my rabbits. And I hope it has given you the reasons that you may want to look at this as well. It's a great way to save a little bit of money, to get more bang for your buck, and also to just get a happier, healthier product as far as your meat rabbits goes. But anyway, if you like this video, leave a like, and if you've got any questions or anything to add, leave it down in the comment section. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, subscribe to the channel. I drop a video every day. I appreciate all y'all watching, and we'll see you in the next one.